All right. Shoosh. I don't know. Let's do one more video, I guess. We'll go to this one.
So I want to teach you guys a very basic principle on how to make sure that you make more money and save more money than the people that are making the same as you. You can even become wealthier than the individuals that make more money than you by applying this very simple principle. Now, everybody wants to talk all this deep logistics shit. They want to
For
talk
those
about,
of you guys who don't know, this is
all
Luke
this stuff
Belmar.
That is macroeconomics, microeconomics.
There you go, to the top.
Getting super intelligent, but they're not willing to understand the basics, right? So I'm going to teach you guys the basics today because
Facts,
if you
gotta
don't have a
learn
good
both,
foundation in
but start
life,
with the basics. That's the foundation.
Then your life is going to be shit. That's just how it is.
Yeah, you
right?
can't.
So my goal is
You
for
can't
guys
build
not to have a shitty life.
on
So if I can prevent
a
you
house
guys
of
from having
cards,
a shitty life
like,
and committing the same mistakes that
strong
everybody else
foundation.
commits, then
Take
you're
your
good.
time.
We're gonna have a couple scenarios. Green represents money, okay? As we know, this is time, okay? So it's linear. We got income, vertical. Okay, so
We're
you
learning
start your
together here,
entrepreneurial
guys.
Journey, right? Let's say you start your entrepreneurial journey right here at the age of 19, right? That's a fair assessment, right? You're done high school. You've
Pretty
got
much
the
when I started, to be
indoctrination
honest.
camps. But now it's time for you to make money. You don't want to work for a fucking job.
I mean, we've been sucking at it, to be
So,
honest, too. We're going
What
through
you want
some,
to go ahead and do,
like, trying to
right,
reverse the
is
mental
start your
programming.
venture. But as you become independent,
Push through it.
you not only you have income, but you also have expenses. So let's talk about your income. People's income is rarely linear, right? It's very rarely linear. Unless you work a steady job, if you're becoming an entrepreneur, your income will not become steady like that. It's not very realistic, especially when you begin. Usually you'll have something like this, right? You could have like this. That's how your income would actually be, right? In entrepreneurship, if you're winning, that's how I've seen my career path be,
It fluctuates,
right?
basically,
you see
saying.
a decrease in net worth, right? So like I'll go up like this, right? It'll be stuff like that, right? That's usually how my net
Iterations or, like,
okay?
cycles of growth.
Now, what is the
Periods.
problem with making money? Okay? The problem with making money isn't your ability to make it, it's your ability to keep it. And most people do not.
Yeah, because if it's... That's what Rich Dad, Poor Dad talks about, is, like, literally the way the cash maneuvers. Where is it going? How is it flowing? If you can take control of the way in which it flows and continue to keep more of it, then eventually you have a big nest egg, a big
know
chunk
how
of
to protect
money.
their wealth. So let me teach you guys how to protect your wealth in a very
And then you
basic
can
way.
use it to invest,
We're going to keep it linear just for the sake of the illustration. But
which is
I
what
don't
I'm
wanna
trying to
make it
do now.
complicated. If I make it complicated,
Trying to
you
take
won't
my
remember it.
time and my money
If I make
and
it
allocate
simple,
it properly
you'll remember it
so I
forever.
can set myself up for my
Hit the
future
subscribe button,
and have the reality that I
okay?
desire.
And I'm going to show you guys.
While at the same time
how this is done.
documenting my process and
Let's say your income
hopefully
is linear.
educating
We're
you
just gonna
guys
do it for
and
the
like
sake of the
this,
illustration.
learning together
Now,
how
let's
we
talk about your
can
expenses.
do that for ourselves.
Most people match their income with the level of expenses that they have, okay? Because they think that their income is linear, that they have to have a linear spend.
Yeah, so
And usually what people
basically
are
what he's talking about is, like, as you level up financially, people level their lives up too fast because they're trying to buy liabilities, things that they don't really need. And they're just basically, by the end of the month, they received $4,000, they spent $4,000, nothing saved up. And it's not necessarily saving it that's important, but it's building that nest egg that you can then allocate towards an investment.
is they're trying to showcase to the world their income level, right? So as your income grows, you want to portray that growth in a way that people validate you. This is normal behavior. Normal behavior, but it's not good behavior. So the average motherfucker who's a loser, right? And this isn't you because you're going to learn at a young age.
Yeah, we're learning, guys.
Their
Come on.
expenses
It's not us.
are right here. So what does that mean?
Don't be this
That
guy.
means that you have a slight room for error and a slight
Be
room
this
for
guy, like Luke
saving
Belmar.
money,
Smart
right?
like him,
Remember, your
but
money's linear.
not the
Look at
person who
how much
spends
room
the
you
average.
have for error. You have very little room for error. And as we understand
Be whoever
that
you
your
want.
net worth, right, or the amount of money that you make as an entrepreneur isn't always steady, you could see
You do
could
have an
see
option,
dips
though.
like this, right? You could see stuff like this happen. Well, what happens in these pockets? And it's happened to me, right? Well, you're losing money. And what happens with expenses? Usually in life, it's extremely difficult in life to reduce your expenses Just like we had the kid in the chat, right? Talking about they have a $700 car payment. Well, what are you going to do now? Now you have a fucking headache. So now you have to deal with a $700 car payment because you didn't learn how to manage your expenses. Now, let's say that this is...
Look, I need to get better at that.
This is $100 grand. I'm going to make this very simple. And I'm going to teach you guys off of like
I'm not bad
real
at it, but
right? So
I could be way better. I could feel it.
When I was making $100K a year many years ago, my rent was $200. My rent was $200. I was sleeping on a couch and I was making six figures. I was driving an old Volvo, okay? And I was staying up till 5 in the fucking morning with a job at 10 in the morning, working on my side hustle. But the point is, my expenses were fairly correlated. And then as soon as I hit 100 grand, my expenses reduced drastically. Why? Because I realized that I couldn't always count on making more money, but I could count on maintaining the money that I was making.
You can, to an extent, as long as you don't tarnish your reputation and you build the necessary skills to where you can do it independently. But I understand what he means. He knows he knows more about money than me because he's richer than me. So
making, right? And then
all I'm saying is you could get sued or some shit could happen. They could try to take your money, but they can never take your skills. That's my point.
What I could do was limit my expenses. So what's
but he's right though. Still limit your expenses.
And the first guy is that as time goes on, and your income increases,
look at that growth.
And your expenses
you get to keep more of that money.
Now you have freedom. This right here, this gap right here, ladies and gentlemen, is your freedom gap. This right here is your freedom gap. Sounds sexual, but I like it. This is the freedom gap. Okay? Freedom gap. The bigger the gap is, the more freedom you're going to experience in your life. Man, so right now, my current expenses in life are fixed.
They're hella big.
Probably about 40 grand a month, right? 40 grand a month is what I spend probably every single month, right? That between houses, between what else do I have? Buying random shit. I don't know, bro. 40 grand a month is what I spend, give or take. I don't like saying that number because to me it's a gross number. It's way too much. But
hey,
it is what it is.
Gotta live life.
So this gap right here represents.
And if you're making enough money to do it, then
is to be doing two things simultaneously when you're getting rich. Two things. One is making
sure do it when you're young.
that you're always on a steady uptrend. If you fall below,
but intelligently,
right? If you fall below, make sure that your expenses, right? We're gonna do the red line, but I don't care. Make sure that your expenses give you enough wiggle room for risk. Does this principle make sense? Give me a fucking W, guys. I'm out here drawing
W's in the chat
whiteboard for you guys to understand. Like I can't make it more simple. Increase your income or keep your income the same, or slowly increase your income and maintain your expenses the same. Now I needed to graph it in a way where you grasp the fucking concept, so you understand that there is no shame living with your parents if you're clocking in money as long as you're productive. There is no shame living in a 1-bedroom house as long as it's a good fucking work environment that's productive and helps you elevate. As long as your expenses are stable. The hardest thing to get rid of is expenses. That's why a lot of these celebrities, they go fucking broke. They go fucking broke. So even though this is common sense,
a lot of the lottery winners go broke. Because the thing is, you can get a lot of money, but if you don't know how to use it properly, you're going to lose it. You have to understand it as a tool. Same way with everything else. Money, again, is just a vessel. Depending on how you use it, you can create good things or you can create bad things. It's up to you to understand how to use that tool and leverage it properly.
You would be surprised that a lot of people do not apply this. The moment they get 100 racks, they spend 100 racks. They're poor. Instantly. Done. So this right here needs to be your measurement in your scale of life. And as you can tell, it's drawn in a slight uptrend. What does that mean? That means that your life quality does increase. But if God forbid, right, you are in a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where you're going up to 150K, boom, and your net worth bounces down 30%, or your income bounces down 30%, right? Then what happens? Look at all the fucking wiggle room. You're still living with freedom. So everybody that's waking up with anxiety, it's because they haven't figured this out. They haven't figured it out, that's why they're stressed. So it's not expensive to understand this concept. You don't need a master's degree. You just need good money management skills and to not give a fuck a flying fuck about what anybody says. If you
Again, that's the problem. People care too much about what people think, and so then they end up spending all this money to look like they're living a certain type of lifestyle.
can
But
crack this code,
yo, just like do your fucking thing. Pay attention to your bag. Keep your head down. After a couple of years, you're gonna come out way further than you were before.
it's because it's a mental.
But you gotta keep going.
Code, bro.
Can't quit.
You need to come to terms with the fact that you ain't gonna be flexing like everybody else when you're 21. You're gonna be sitting, you're gonna be grinding, and you're gonna be building a real fucking business.
Yes,
and
sir.
making real fucking money.
That's why
the
we're
name of
here,
the game.
guys.
This, to me, ladies and gentlemen, is freedom. Now let's go to the situation that a lot of people live in. This is a situation that a lot of people live in. Let's say they have their steady level of expenses, and then they have their income. Most people don't know how to make money, and they get into fucking crazy debt. This, bro, right here is the life of an average American. You know what this is called? I'm gonna put it in red so you understand it. Breaking it down as fucking simple as I can, bro. And I can't wait for people to make fun of me with these basic ass concepts, bro. But you know what?
Dude, it
Most of you
works.
guys are too fucking dumb to realize how valuable this information actually is. This is called slavery. That's what it is.
It's teaching you money
are a
management
slave.
skills
You are
literally
in
with a simple
debt.
graph.
Indebted. You are owing somebody, which means you must work until you pay that debt off. So the question is, do you want to live in freedom, not luxury? Do you want to live in freedom or in slavery? That's the name of the game. Now what happens, bro, when you're in a different situation and you have all this money? What do you do with all of this? You grab it and now you invest it. And investments, something like this, are the same thing. Time now versus investment. This money that you had, that
As
you were
above,
trying
so
to
below.
flex on motherfuckers, you've turned this
Sequencing
Okay.
of
into investments over
securities
time.
as
And
well
here, ladies
as
and gentlemen,
your
is where the rich
life.
get wealthy. And that is the secret
Invest
to
in
wealth.
yourself.
That is the secret to wealth in a very basic way.
If you don't got money to
in a way
invest
that
in
any
yourself,
peasant can
use your time.
understand. Hope you guys
Educate
enjoyed the
yourself. Go to a
presentation.
library.
I mean,
YouTube University.
Today I sat down. I was like, how can I simplify these concepts in a way that people can understand? Because I know we got a lot of young bucks in
You did a
here
good job.
that want to understand and learn how to make money. The first thing is don't make the same mistakes your parents made. Which
Take
was
notes,
get a
guys. Take
mortgage,
notes.
Work a traditional 9 to 5, eat genetically modified food, watch television, and take medication that they don't even know what the fuck they're taking.
Control
If
your
you can avoid and
consumption.
do the complete opposite on all 5 of these things, you're going to live a completely better life than your entire family. So I simplified this concept in a way for you to understand so you can go out in life and win. This is the sauce. Understand this concept and you win. Your freedom now goes back and compounds as time over investment, and that's when you go from working for your money.
One of the things, if you guys are trying to reprogram yourself, it's repetition of the right information. If you hear some good information and you want to remember it, keep listening to it over and over and over. Yeah, it might be a little bit boring, but you got to realize that you got to stay dedicated to the actions and not the results. Of course, you need to monitor the results, like they're your KPIs, and see if you're in good health or not, but stay dedicated, head down to the actions, because that's what's going to bring you the results.
To money working for you, which is the key to becoming
Leverage. That was a good video, guys. All right, I think that's where we're going to end it for
So
today.
look, you are broke, and quite frankly,
Just You Are Broke by Iman. That's hecka funny. No, but yeah, this is the end of the first live stream. We're gonna be what am I even on? So we're gonna be continuing to do these every week. I may be doing more or less of them depending the time, but I'm gonna shoot for one every week, at least starting out. Again, maybe we'll increase, but this has been fun. I enjoy talking about these different topics and giving you guys my perspective. Maybe it can even just make you see things in a different way to where you have your own ideas that support you. Maybe it's not even aligned with what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm just here to help as any way I can, provide some type of support. I've spent the last couple of years studying money and philosophy, spirituality, various different topics to try to get a grasp of this experience that we're having, this human experience that our souls are having. And I want to help you guys to do the same thing in understanding your reality so that you can use to the best of your potential the information, everything that you got, all the tools at your expense to, again, maximize your potential experience here on Earth so you can live the way you want to, whatever that looks like. Maybe it's living in the woods, solitude, like hermit style. I don't know. Maybe it's more living in a city. You want a high rise. I don't know what kind of life you want to live, but whatever's right for you, you got to find that out for yourself. So until the next one, thank you guys for watching, and can't wait to talk to you guys and see you on the next one.